Am I the jerk for telling my husband that I don't want to be a single mom of 3 kids? Editor's note: there are a few background posts that help to paint a clearer picture of Op's life, so I have included them as well. Credit to the Baru mods, before the original post. All posts by u/icy_memory 1247. First background post. The title of this post is, Am I the jerk for calling my mother-in-law a liar? Background: my sister, 33F, and I, 30F, are not close. We always catch up on birthdays, weddings, and similar family events, but we are not friends. This is partially because we are very different and partially because she doesn't approve of my marriage. My husband is 12 years older than me, and we started dating when I was 18. My husband and his family don't like my sister because she is openly feminist and doesn't care about gender norms in marriage. Now, the problem: we hosted a birthday party for my son a few days ago. I had a headache, so I was upstairs when I heard my mother-in-law and husband arguing. He stormed into our room and said that my mother-in-law claimed my sister called my sister-in-law WHRE, said that she is ugly and fat, and then left. I told him that my sister would never say such derogatory things about another woman, but he argued that my mother-in-law was there and heard everything, while I wasn't. I responded that, if that was the case, then my mother-in-law was lying because it would be out of character for my sister to say something like that. He called me a jerk and said that I don't even like my sister and get along better with my mother-in-law, so how could I call her a liar? He has been on the phone with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law the whole day, and I've been painted as a huge jerk. The reason I said that is because those types of words sound like something my sister-in-law and mother-in-law would use, not my sister. Later, I talked with my sister, and she told me she was helping put together a swing in the backyard when my sister-in-law said that she was again in men's business, and that she should be helping with food. My sister told her to F off, grabbed her keys, and left with her husband. But I didn't know that when I said my mother-in-law lied. So, am I the jerk? Commenter. So, just to be clear, are you saying that your mother-in-law did lie, based on what you're describing? Your sister swore at your sister-in-law but didn't use the gendered insults that your sister-in-law and mother-in-law claimed she did? Op's response. My mother-in-law is now downplaying everything, saying that maybe she didn't understand everything since she wasn't that close, and my sister-in-law cried when my sister left, so she wasn't very coherent. My theory is that my mother-in-law didn't actually hear anything and that she believed what my sister-in-law told her, but I don't know that for sure. Second background post 1 month later. The title of this post is, I am envious of my sister. This is going to be long, I apologize. So, I, 30F, have a sister, let's call her Madison, 33F. We grew up very poor in an unstable family. Our father left when I was a baby, and our mother was abusive, but we had each other and were very supportive of one another. Somehow, we managed to grow into very different people. I always wanted a husband, a lot of kids, a white picket fence, the whole thing. She was more of a if it happens type. I got married young, at 18, and now have 2 kids with my husband. Madison got pregnant with her then boyfriend, who abandoned her while she was pregnant. She kept the pregnancy, and the father is neither in the picture nor on the birth certificate. I know she went through hell raising her child on her own, juggling daycare, jobs, keeping the house clean, cooking, etc. When her son was 6, she met a great guy, and after dating for a year, she got married. That was almost 2 years ago. Now, Madison is openly a feminist, and so is her husband. They both work, both take care of the house, and they go clubbing together and separately. The same goes for vacations. Her husband is raising her son as his own and even wanted to adopt him legally, which my sister refused. My husband is more traditional. I catch myself being resentful of my sister. If she's tired, her husband will make her a coffee and clean their house. Mine says that's my job and won't lift a finger, even when I'm sick. When she's sick, she gets homemade soup in bed, medicine, and lots of love and care. When they're both in the mood, they order food, build pillow forts, and watch movies with her son. I'm expected to make all the meals, no matter how my day was or how I feel. I have to beg my husband to occasionally show up at school for his own children. Meanwhile, her husband takes her son to soccer practice, attends his games, and takes him to the movies or for ice cream, and so does she, depending on work schedules. My husband makes comments about how my sister takes better care of herself than I do. Sometimes he even criticizes her for it, which she does. She goes to the gym, runs in the mornings, always has her nails done, and regularly goes to get her hair done. I can't do any of that. Who is going to take care of the kids? The house? She can do it because her husband helps her. When Madison had an altercation with my sister-in-law, her husband was immediately on her side. He didn't care whether she was right or wrong. My husband would probably tell me to stop being a child and apologize. I know my sister doesn't deserve this, but I'm starting to hate her. She has been nothing but supportive, except for my marriage. She doesn't like my husband, but even then, she's still civil with him and his family because of me. I just want to cry when I see how different our lives are. I hate that I'm like this. I hate how I feel. I feel like I'm the worst person in the world. Commenter. This is a husband problem. What you could do is tell him in the morning that you will be at the gym when he gets home from work, since he wants you to take better care of yourself. He is a grown man, he can pop something in the microwave. This does, of course, require someone to watch the kids. Would your sister be able to do that occasionally? Op's response. It is a husband problem, I know. Even if I try to find childcare, he would still be angry that I'm not with the kids. Commenter. Why are you hating your sister instead of hating your husband? Op's response. I don't know. I feel that if I start to dissect my marriage, then a divorce is on the way, and that scares me. The original post 4 months later. This post is the title of the video. Am I the jerk for telling my husband that I don't want to be a single mom of 3 kids? So, my husband, 42M, and I, 31F, have been married for 12 years. We have 2 kids, 8M and 4F. Our marriage is not great. His mother and sister often give unsolicited advice on my parenting, our marriage, and life in general. It has been better in the last few months since I sat down with my husband. Multiple times, we talked, and this time he listened, so they backed off. Not completely, but it is better. In the last few weeks, my husband started mentioning having a 3rd child, which fills me with dread. I love children and have always wanted a big family, but it would be too much. I cook, clean, take care of the kids, and work part-time from home. He doesn't really help with the house, which I am fine with, nor with the kids, which is a problem. I changed all the diapers, woke up at night, and take care of fevers, doctor appointments, school, playdates, everything. The mere thought of going through another pregnancy and then taking care of a baby makes me want to cry. I know I would have to do it all practically alone because my husband says, I provide, and women have been doing it for centuries. You should pull your weight and not be spoiled. It all culminated last night. After another one of his I take great care of you and the kids, and we should have a 3rd monologues, I snapped. I told him that he really doesn't. The kids barely know him. When he comes home from work, he doesn't pay attention to them except to snap at our daughter when she's too loud. He doesn't know anything about our days because he doesn't ask, and I stopped telling him because he wasn't listening anyway. He's not the great father or husband he likes to preach about, and I have no desire to be a single mom of a 3rd child. 2 are quite enough, thank you. He stared at me dumbfounded, then called me a C-word, delusional, and ungrateful before storming out to his mother's house. So, am I the jerk? Update 5 hours later. Hi, everyone. I don't know how to update properly, so I'm doing it in the comments. For clarification, we dated for 9 months and got married when I was 18. I just turned 31 a few days ago and can't imagine being attracted to an 18-year-old, let alone marrying one, but I didn't think like that back then. Whatever happens with my marriage, I am not having another child? I won't change my mind about that. I'm on birth control, and I also have no desire to have sex with my husband after how he reacted and treated me. I don't have parents, and I really don't want to go to my friends with this. I called my sister, Madison, and told her everything. A lot of the things you all mentioned in the comments are things she's been saying for years. She showed up with food, wine, and her husband. My brother-in-law took my kids to their house for a sleepover, and Madison stayed with me. My husband is still at his parents' house and hasn't called or texted. My mother-in-law called, but I didn't pick up. I'm too angry and sad to have a conversation with her. Thank you, everyone, for commenting and giving me advice. It really means a lot. I'll update once I talk with my husband, know how to proceed, and figure out how to update. Second update 3 days later. Hello, everyone. I wanted to provide an update since many people were concerned about me, and a lot has happened. For those who don't want to read a long post, things turned ugly, but I am safe, and I have decided to get a divorce since my husband and I couldn't agree on what a marriage should look like. Now for a longer update. The morning after I made this post, my mother-in-law and sister-in-law showed up at my house. At this point, there was still no word from my husband, let's call him Ray. It was obvious they expected me to be alone. My kids were with my brother-in-law at my sister Madison's house, she was with me. So, we all sat down to have a conversation. I know I was being annoying, but I kept repeating that I didn't see the point of this conversation, it should happen between Ray and me. We're grown-ups and married, I didn't see a reason for them to meddle. They took great offense to that. My mother-in-law, at one point, said she didn't understand what had happened to me and that I wasn't the girl her son married anymore. I replied that, of course, I wasn't, he married a teenager, and now I'm a grown woman. She turned beet red and started screaming at me, to which Madison said she would call the police if she didn't calm down. After a few insults, mostly about how I'm abusing her son and how bad of a mother I am, they left. Ray showed up a few hours later, not to ask about our children or to check on me, but to berate me for how I treated his mother. Again, I think Madison being there changed his plans since he toned it down when she came downstairs. He demanded that she leave, but she refused and said she would go upstairs so we could have a conversation. However, she wasn't going anywhere unless I asked her to, which I didn't. He started by essentially saying I'm a bad wife, that I don't love him because I don't want more kids and blamed him for it, and that I shouldn't talk to him the way I do. He claimed he's a great father to our kids, to which I asked, which kids? The ones you haven't seen in 3 days and didn't ask about? He then freaked out when I told him they were at my brother-in-law's and Madison's house, calling them both vile names that I won't repeat. Our conversation lasted an hour, and nothing productive came out of it. We were going in circles. I was scared because, multiple times, he started grinding his teeth and clenching his fists but calmed down after a few seconds. I told him that if he wasn't willing to work on our marriage and thought he was completely in the right, we should get a divorce. At first, he said fine, and if that's what I wanted, I should pack my stuff and leave. So, I started packing. He ranted about how I'm going to live without him and how he can't wait for me to explain to the kids why they're moving. I told him the kids aren't moving anywhere, they're staying in the house, and whichever parent stays here will take care of them. He couldn't comprehend what I was saying. I told him I wasn't going to turn our kids' lives upside down. Divorce is enough of a change, they're not going anywhere. Then his tone changed. Suddenly, he was willing to hear me out. I swear I thought I was going to pop a blood vessel from rage. I told him I didn't care anymore, we are getting a divorce. The only questions are about logistics and the kids. To avoid making this post even longer, this also went in circles. Then he grabbed my shoulders and started shaking me. Madison got involved, and they started pushing each other. I called the police. We managed to push him out the door and lock it. He left before the police arrived. We gave statements, and I stayed at the house. I'm fine, but Madison has a few scratches. Currently, I'm being bombarded with texts from his family, still not a peep from him. I'm filing for divorce. I don't know why I thought this could end any differently, but I'm also glad I tried. For those who read my previous posts, I'm ashamed of how I spoke about Madison. I was envious until I realized I was projecting my unhappiness with my life onto her. She didn't deserve it, she has always been an amazing sister and an even better person. Thank you all. I've received amazing advice and words of encouragement. The internet can truly be full of wonderful people, and I'm grateful for each and every one of you.